Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're doing part 3 of my best whiskey of the year so far kind of series, where I'm kind of going over like the top 20 high scoring whiskeys I've tasted this year and comparing them. So today is not the crazy banger that we've had like last week where we had the Wild Turkey Guilfoyle and the Russell's 13. It's going to be a couple little, not as crazy allocated, but they all scored good. And today's theme is basically they're all Kentucky whiskeys. One is wheat, so I'm starting to whittle down the list and to try to make some kind of theme for the day. Kind of picking the bottle. I'm trying not to do single barrel. I'm trying to do a whole single barrel one. There's a single barrel in here, so it's all over the place. But today's bottles, we have the Booker's, the 2601. This is the Big Easy batch. I really like this Booker's. It already beat out my favorite Booker's from last year. The bar was kind of low. So again, is it because it went against something that wasn't as good, or is this really that good? So we'll find out today. It also did well in a Whiskey Cigar Club. And this is the pick that is in here. This is a Dream Spirits. It's 11.5-year Booker's. So I don't know if technically I'm supposed to say that or not, so I'm going to put that in quotations, but this is supposedly Booker's juice in here, whiskey, bourbon, and it's around the same proof, the 120.2 proof, distilled in Kentucky, signed by Prov. And this is a local pick over here at Universal. When I had both these was in a Whiskey Cigar Club, they both did well. I think they both came in like the top 3, if not the top 2 of that Whiskey Cigar Club. But I'm putting it in here to kind of compare basically a Booker's versus a Booker's, a higher age Booker's, and kind of see what happens here, because this has scored high for me. Another bottle from Kentucky. This is Bomberger's annual release. Another thing I was gonna maybe do is like just annual releases, like Booker's comes out every year. These come out every year. The next bottle also apparently is now coming out every year. But Bomberger's this year, decent. I did like it versus some other. This was my favorite Bomberger's. Just looked up in my notes. I didn't know if this was my favorite Bomberger in the past 3 years, but according to my notes, this came in second. I like the 24 better, but I still scored it a pretty high score. I do typically like Bomberger's every year, so we'll see how it kind of does now. Put this pen away. And then the wheat whiskey, this is Star Hill Farms out of Maker's Mark, and another kind of annual release that they're putting out every year. This did score well for me earlier this year. Again, there hasn't been too many wheat whiskeys that I can compare this to anyway, so it's not like I have 4 that were phenomenal. So I had to kind of stick it in here somewhere, and today is the day. So I know this is a little off-centered. There you go, better. So these are the bottles we're going to go over today. So let's get right into the nose. I would usually do a giveaway here, but we're kind of caught up, and I'm recording this a little bit too close to where I would do the giveaway. So I'll do the giveaway for the Wild Turkey one in Friday's video. So stay tuned. I'm going to Portugal soon, so I'm trying to get ahead on videos by like 1. We'll see, but I've been doing good. So let's get into the actual blind. All right, let's get into the nose on A. All right, I like that nose on that one. Sweet oak, peanut butter on toast, rich. I wonder if I'm gonna say nutty notes a lot today, but I did like this nose. Right up my alley. No off-putting nose at all. Again, these are some of the better high scoring things I've had this year, so everything should be pretty good, but this is why I do this series, midway point of the year, compare good stuff against good stuff and kind of really see. So let's go to B. All right, B's nose didn't come off all that well for me. It smelled a little oakier than A slight dusty oak, peanut, but not like the nice peanut butter way, kind of just like a regular, just generic peanut, and a slight medicinal note. I couldn't figure out if it was cherry. It was also kind of hard to pick notes up. It was just like kind of muted, where A was kind of way more intense. But let's go to C. Well, I don't love the notes on that one either. Didn't I say right before I got into these notes is how these are all gonna be pretty good? I guess not. Lighter, slight nutty, earthy in the hay direction, and red fruit. It's not bad. It's just a little off from, I guess, the profile I like, even though I like tons of profiles, it's just a little off. It's the best way I can explain that. But we'll see in the palate. Let's go to the nose on D. I mean, I don't know if my nose is just not working today. A came off so like strong, and then just kind of, I don't know, another one that's not intense to me. Oak, a darker note, overall just darker. A savory note. I almost wanted to say the lupini bean again, but it wasn't quite there, but kind of in that direction. Again, nothing off-putting. Let's just get right into the palates. The nose is kind of letting me down right now. Let's just get to A. All right, A. Pretty good, very intense, kind of just like the nose. Oak, red fruit, intense, a slight banana note, very slight nuttiness. And then as soon as I went to the finish, peanut butter and chocolate just like punched me in the face. It was so good. Nutty, oak. The finish didn't linger that much. Now it's the first sip of the day, so that usually kind of happens in the first sip of the day. So we'll see. So let's get right to the second sip. All right, the palate is still decent. I wouldn't say it's, you know, exceptional or anything like that. It's a good palate. You know, nothing too crazy. None of these bottles are cheap. That's for sure. So, you know, the palate's not like blowing my mind. The finish did get better. The peanut butter chocolate note was so strong on the first sip. It wasn't as strong on the second one, but there was a nice marshmallow toastiness along with that, which is really good on the finish. So I do like the finish a little bit more than the palate, but overall a decent pour. So we'll go one more sip. Some red fruit on the finish this time. I like that finish a good amount. The palate again, if I would score the palate, I'd probably score the palate like a 3.5 and the finish like a 3.9, like significantly better than the palate, but overall pretty good. Give it a rough score. We'll see how it does when I A/B all these, but decent, a good first pour. Let's go to B. I mean, that was freaking good. Whew. A lot of sweetness on glass B. Right in my notes, I used all my good notes on the palate. So on the palate, oak, vanilla fudge, raspberry drizzle, strawberry ice cream. I mean, it's like a dessert in your mouth. And on the finish, it was a lot of the same, but I like simplified like the notes to oak, sweet, vanilla, red fruit. I wasn't as fancy on the finish, but that is good, man. Based off the noses, you know, who knows what I was expecting, but that was very sweet. Now, nothing to finish or anything like that, so it's not like it's artificially sweetened really or anything like that. So it just tastes very sweet. But man, that's good. Let's try a second sip. Why did this happen? This makes me so upset. It was so good on the first sip. I go to the second sip. I'm not getting any of the good stuff. The new note I wrote down was like an astringent oak note that I was getting on the palate. And on the finish, it went from this nice red fruit, vanilla, like a brighter finish to a darker finish in not a good way. I absolutely love that first sip. This second sip was a major letdown. Third sip, be more like the first sip. Fingers crossed. All right. Third sip kind of was like a mix. It didn't give me that astringent oak note, but what it was doing was giving me more of like a darker note. So the first sip was just so bright and just so sweet. I feel like now it's a little bit more balanced because the darker notes kind of like in the background with the nice notes, the sweeter notes. There is some nuttiness on the finish. Overall, you know, that was kind of like a mixed bag of sips. I would score that first sip really high, that second sip kind of low. This last one, decently high. So hopefully when I A/B these, that kind of shows up the first sip. So let's go to C. Interesting. So this one's definitely something I gotta have another sip with because I didn't get too much on the first sip. It was overly sweet, if anything. I wrote maple syrup, honey question mark, hay. So the hay note that kind of was getting on the nose is on the palate as well. Finish all was light and sweet. It wasn't bad. The hay note isn't my favorite. You know, it's kind of just like, hey. I don't know. You guys might like that note. It's one of the notes that are kind of like not my favorites at all. I know I'm repeating myself. Let's go second sip. I don't always write almost, but I apparently wrote it twice. I don't know what happened here. It didn't get too much better. So almost grassy. That hay note almost is almost grassy. A little bit of nuttiness, which is a good note, I guess. On the finish, a burnt wood, like an almost burnt wood note. The thing is, it's not bad. It's just not that good. It's okay. I'm very curious on what this is to be in this group, to be in this kind of like series. I kind of have an idea, maybe not, because I got nutty on this too. Third sip. I will say it's unique. It's not your typical right down line bourbon, and it's making me think of what it could possibly be because of that. I got a little sourness on the finish, or on the palate this time. Nothing new on the finish. It's okay. It's in last place as of right now. Let's just say that. So let's go to D. All right, D on the palate. Oak, sweet, nutty. It was proofy. It drank hot. None of these are all that hot. I think the Booker's is the highest at 129. So everything else is below that one, but I think it's 129 would drink hot if this is the Booker's. It does drink the hottest out of them all. It's the only one that tastes like proof on it. On the finish, oak, sweet, nutty again. So not a lot of difference there. Overall was decent, but again, like some of these other ones, just not blowing my mind. But let's go second sip. All right, that second sip was pretty freaking good. So it just seemed really rich to me. Some red fruit, and on the finish, red fruit vanilla. It's not crazy complex or anything like that. It does taste very good. I do like this profile. It's not again, I say this a lot. It's not a crazy roller coaster. It's just kind of solid line of just goodness. And you kind of pick up some notes on your little, the teacups or whatever, not a roller coaster ride. But it is good. I do like that. The proof kind of settled down the second sip, which usually happens. But it just tasted richer. Maybe it's because the proof was just too strong in the first sip. I wasn't just experiencing the richness. But let's go with the third sip. Yeah, kind of building on that second sip. Again, it's not a lot of complexity there. It's just really good. I do like this. Nice little peanut note. Good oak there. Nice sweetness. You know, if you want a cash strength bourbon, I feel like this is right down that home plate for this. It's good though. I do like it. All right. I basically have a three-way tie for first right now in my, preliminary scoring. So this A being part is going to take a little while, I think, but it'd be fun. I'm looking forward to it. They were all decent. None of them were blowing my mind. So 100%, these are probably like one or two of these make it into the top 26 to 2026 at the end of the year. I'm sure they'll be kind of like lower on the rankings. None of these are going to be like the top 10, I don't think. But I don't know. Again, we'll kind of see, but it's kind of my opinion going through this way. So I'll be right back with some scores. All right. Well, that was very hard. Drank all my whiskey. Delicious. Not the results I expected at all. A little bit kind of sad, I would say, but let's do the giveaway. If you want to enter to win 2 ounce samples we're doing 1 ounce samples for this, and it makes sense because, we're already halfway through some of these bottles, and some of these bottles might make it into the top 26 of 2026. This is why we're doing 1 ounce samples for this series. I'm sorry. So if you want to enter to win 1 ounce sample of all 4 of these, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with KY26, all one word, because these are all Kentucky whiskeys, bourbon, wheat whiskey, bourbon. So let's go with that today. Now, it's going back and forth a lot, man. The scores are all crossed out, kind of going back and forth. Last place was the Star Hill. That wasn't the hard part. This was not the hard part. Star Hill. Did I write anything new for that? I did write some new notes. I didn't write anything new for that. I scored a 3.5, so not a bad score. It did taste better when I was A-Bing it. It was just sweet. It wasn't as earthy, but it is very sweet. And I did like last year's version better. I think there's a lot more people I think that like this year's version better. But I did that video a few months ago. So if you want to go see that, just search Star Hill on my channel and you'll probably find it. But I did like last year's better. So, but I did score this enough to get into this top 20 for the year so far. And then it became the struggle bus over here. These other three, I kept going back and forth. And shocking, this Dream Spirits, supposedly, I don't know if I can legally say that or not, 11.5-year Bookers came in third place with a score of 3.7. Still decent score. The thing that kind of brought it down versus these other two was I started getting the basement notes, like the dankness, and I have been in my basement a lot lately because I just switched out my damn water heater. So been down there dealing with that for 2 weeks, but it's all good now. Yay. I started getting that. It's not my favorite note, so that brought it down a little bit versus other ones that didn't really have anything bad about it. So then it became between the Bombergers and the Bookers, which is to me a really cool lineup because, or matchup, not lineup, but matchup between these two, because it's two like big brands out of Kentucky that they release annual releases. Now obviously they do 4 of these a year, but and Bombergers come out once, but it's a bunch of single barrels or a bunch of different batches. Excuse me, the batch numbers here. And so to me, that's like the different batches are the different releases. So between these two, a difference of 0.05. And my winner, what did I pick? The Bombergers? I did. I picked the Bombergers, a 3.8. I wrote nice mouthfeel, and the Bookers was 3.75. Still very good, one of the best Bookers I've had in a while. But I just think I like the going back and forth a bunch. I just like the Bombergers a little bit better. And a lot of people are like, oh, the Bombergers is a lower proof. But Michter just puts their whiskey in the barrels at a lower proof. So they're not adding much water now. They're not adding basically any water, or add any, to the Bookers because it's cask strength, just like this one's cask strength. I did love the mouthfeel of the Bombergers. I feel like all the whiskey is now like getting to my brain immediately. Like I can feel it, like all of a sudden, like everything I just drank, like all of a sudden, like you need to hurry up and close this. But so today's winner is the Bombergers. I did not expect that. Going to this 100%, I thought Dream Spirits was gonna win. I thought the Bookers and Bombergers would kind of fight for second place, and I did think that Star Hill was probably gonna come in last. I'm just not the biggest fan of these, but it scored enough to get in my top whatever list I have over here. So we'll see if it makes it in the top 20. I doubt it. Oh, here's a question. This is a question I was thinking about when I was going back and forth. What are your guys' thoughts when I do my top 26 of 2026 tournament at the end of the year? Single barrels in, single barrels not in. Let me know what you guys think about that. I know there's like a whole kind of debate, and I could do a whole different like video on like my favorite single barrels of the year. I basically only buy single barrels at this point, besides like some of these releases. A lot of the bottles are gonna be single. Now, if it's like a national release single barrel type situation where it's a bunch of different single barrels, but like they're all over, that's different than like a store pick. I think that's a little different, but this is a store pick. Maybe I should say single barrel. Maybe I should say store pick. What do you think about store picks? And you might, like on my list is my pick. This bottle over here is one of my favorite things I've had this year, and you'll probably see in the next one of these Wednesday videos coming up. But I kind of debated even putting it there because it's my own pick. I know a lot of YouTubers put their picks in different things. It's the only pick I've ever done. So it's not like, and it's sold out, it's not like I'm trying to promote or anything. I do like it, and that would be nice to kind of just compare it to other things for ha-has, just to see. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. But let me know in the comments what you think about adding store picks or group picks, whatever, you know, like those types of picks into like your year ends best of lists. That's that. I'm gonna be done talking. I'm not done talking. So I think I said at the beginning, I recorded a thing for Patreon, and before this, talking about Patreon, you know, I'm now doing more sample giveaways on Patreon. So if you want to join Patreon and all the fun over there, there's not too much fun over there. But if you want to support the channel through Patreon, it's there. It's in the description. But we are doing giveaways, and I did my first one right before I recorded this, where I let my Patreon, the winner, pick 1 ounce samples, I think, or 2 ounce. It might be 1 ounce samples. 4 different 1 ounce samples of anything they wanted out of anything I reviewed in my July videos. So, you know, if that's something that interests you, a little bit, you know, maybe a better chance at winning some big samples, join my Patreon. So, as little as $3 a month. Anyways, I started talking about something else because I'm going to Portugal soon. So I'm recording a bunch of videos. I'm going to Portugal soon. And so what I'm trying to get to is, so I'm going to be trying to record a couple of videos before I go. But while I'm in Portugal, I'm going to bring some samples that people have sent me and do some sample reviews over there. I'm hoping to pick up something at duty free on the way over like I usually do and review that. I am flying out JFK this time, which I'm really hoping to get something good in that duty free, because usually JFK has something duty free, but I rarely ever fly JFK. So everyone, fingers crossed for me on JFK having something really good for me next Saturday night. So, or I don't know when you guys are watching this, but just hope that I get something good so we can review on the channel. So don't go stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.